I'm Deborah,
And I'm Michael.
and we are partners
Parents.
and professional coaches.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! That wasn't as woohoo as it should have been. I'm schwitzing. It's hot.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So I am reading a book now by Dan Heath called Upstream, and he and his brother have a whole series of other books, but
this is just Dan this time.
this is just Dan this
Just
time.
Dan.
So in his book he talks about the idea about getting upstream of challenges, right? So moving upstream and identifying what the problems are and getting ahead of them before they really become problems and much more difficult to solve.
So this was something that I personally dealt with in this crazy summer. So we're here in New York, which was one of the early hotspots for COVID in the country. And we had a long period of time where it really wasn't recommended for us to go out of the house. And I started to realize it still isn't recommended for us to go out of the house. That is true as well. You can walk the dog for the rest of the week, since I should not go out of the house. Thank you for caring about my safety. Anyway, so after weeks and weeks of being told by our governor and our public health officials that we really were safer at home, I realized that I was starting to develop some anxiety about leaving the house. And there's a difference between protective anxiety that makes sense and anxiety that becomes dysfunctional. And I actually forced myself to go on an errand to the post office, an errand that could have waited because I realized that I was at risk of agoraphobia. I really imagined that I could have a significant phobia develop that would keep me from going out long term if I didn't deal with it when it was immediate and small. And that was a scary experience for me to do because I wasn't really ready to leave the house. And I, of course, wore a mask and gloves and hazmat suit and all of those things. But I knew that I needed to get ahead of it. Otherwise, it would become a full-blown form of anxiety.
So when we're working with clients and whether that's coaching or in consulting, it's important to remember we are trying to help our clients get ahead of a problem, right? Identify them early, identify what some of the solutions are, because they're a whole lot easier to deal with upstream than they are once they start floating by.
Great. See you next time.